Bostradamus here, week 9 of the NFL regular season, a turning point with some interesting playoff races emerging. Say happy B-Day, shout out to Shifty Scott S., the Ren Wrecking Ball, once defeated me in one of my best freestyle battles in the parking lot before an Abbott Brothers show, beautiful Watermall, South Carolina. Thursday night, one of the best Thursday night matchups of the season, Atlanta at Tampa Bay. Huge game. Tampa Bay, a young team, could get in the playoff and divisional win race if they win. I think Atlanta's the better team. I thought they'd be a 2-point favorite or so, or maybe 3. They're actually 3.5, or it opened at 2, but it's 3.5, and the over-under is 51, so it should be a high-scoring game. I think it'll be a high-scoring game. I'm gonna say Atlanta 31 to 27. I don't think it'll. I think it'll be a close game. I think Tampa Bay will show up and score points as well. I'm kind of surprised it's that high. I don't anything over 3 or 4 for Atlanta. I think this will be a tight game, and whoever's got the ball last could win for sure. I'm gonna take Atlanta. Jacksonville at KC. I thought KC would be at least a 7-point favorite. Actually 9. Jacksonville, not much good going for them, and KC's Arrowhead's one of the toughest places to play by far in the league, and they're starting to get things going. Even if Nick Foles plays, this should be an easy win for KC. 9 points is a lot. Jacksonville loves to score in garbage time in the fourth quarter, so KC could easily be up 16. Jacksonville could score and go for the 2 points just to be down by 8 and try an onside kick or something like that. So I definitely like KC for sure, especially with their pass rush and a passing game that's struggling and a running game that's kind of non-existent for the Jaguars right now. The AFC West is probably one of the more interesting, one of the best divisions for sure, as far as definitely in terms of 1 through 4. So they can't afford to lose with the winner of the Denver Oakland game is going to have a lot of momentum after this week. So I like KC for sure to win this week. Detroit at Minnesota. I thought Minnesota would only be a 3.5-point favorite because they haven't looked like they did or to start the season the last 2 weeks. Running game's definitely struggling. The over-under is only 41, so I guess they're expecting a real ugly defensive game. I like Minnesota to win. 6 points, I don't know about that. The way they've looked. Detroit didn't look that bad on defense to start the season. Probably not a very deep defense, though, and this Minnesota running game, though, is just weird. And when you got a big-time defensive team like that, that's what you want to do, especially with Bradford wasn't getting time to throw the other night against the Bears. And other than Diggs, they're kind of limited in the passing game. Rudolph and some other guys are good, but Diggs is their definitely playmaker. So I'm going to say Minnesota wins, but doesn't cover. I'm going to say they win 21-17. Minnesota over Detroit. Philly at the Giants. I thought the Giants would be 2 and they are 2.5. I thought they'd be 3.5. I thought they'd be a little bit bigger favorite just because they're coming off a bye week. These teams are both 4-3. Not surprising that one of them's 4-3, but both of them being 4-3 is a little bit surprising. I'm going to take the Giants. People are definitely favorable of Philly, and their defense looks great. Their defense, to me, has been one of the big stories. Wentz clearly being an NFL quarterback early on was a big story. Now he's kind of having some rookie-type situations go on, which is, I thought, to be expected, and I think he's going to be a big-time quarterback at some point. And I think he's going to be a good quarterback this year. And this is over-under is only 43.5, so might be a tight, low-scoring game. Both teams are going to try and take care of the ball, obviously, because both defenses are going to be looking for turnovers as well. So I like the Giants to get loose. Odell's just too much to stop, and Philly doesn't really have a player like Odell on their roster. Probably got the better defense, and I've been picking against them all. They've had tough games the last few weeks. I'm gonna pick them against them one more time and take the Giants, but I'm gonna like them in some games coming up. So they're a pretty interesting team to watch this year. Dallas at Cleveland. I figured Dallas would be at least a 6.5 point favorite, and they're 7 or maybe 7.5 moving forward. I could actually see Cleveland winning here. The whole Prescott Romo thing to me is ridiculous, but the only way you could even talk about Romo is if Cleveland wins this game somehow, which I don't think will happen. I like Dallas. I don't know if they'll cover though, and if it's close, I wouldn't be surprised if they get an upset loss here. But you got to take Dallas. 7.5. That half point's a little tricky there. I'll say Dallas. Let's go 21-14, something like that. 2014, somewhere in there. The over/under is actually 48.5 or 47.5. So, on second thought, it might be a pretty high scoring game. I wouldn't take either. I'd stay away from this one, even though Dallas has looked great. I won't be surprised if Cleveland shows up. Jets at Miami. This is another kind of tricky game. I thought Miami would be a strong 5-point favorite because they've looked better than the Jets, especially the last couple of weeks they have. Neither team looked that great to start the season, and the Jets have had injuries since then. So I like Miami. I think Jarvis Landry will have a big game. Teams are going to have to start watching out for the rookie running back, AA from the Dolphins, 400-yard, back-to-back 200-yard games. I think the Jets might, load up on him, and Landry will get loose. So I'm going to take the Dolphins, but that's a tough one. Probably be a 4 or 5 point game. Even though Tannehill's not great, gotta favor him a little bit over Fitzpatrick right now. Pittsburgh at Baltimore. So this game, going back for like 5 years now, is almost always a 3-point spread. I liked Baltimore to be 3, and it looks like they probably will be 3, but it's off right now because Roethlisberger's health is in question. If he plays, I like Pittsburgh's chances, even if he is banged up. If he doesn't play because it is in Baltimore, I'll take the Ravens. But this game's not on. It's almost always a 3-point spread, and it almost always ends up being determined by 3 too. This is always a crazy game. I think this will be another classic matchup in this rivalry. So if Ben's real banged up or not playing, I'm going to take Baltimore to win by at least 3 or so. Roethlisberger plays and is halfway healthy. I think Pittsburgh will win in a close game. New Orleans at San Fran. I thought New Orleans would be just a 2 to 3 point favorite, and they're actually 3.5. Just because San Francisco's been terrible since getting that first win against the Rams. If Kaepernick can't play well against this New Orleans defense at home, I think they're off a bye week as well. And he's no better than Blaine Gabbert, and the 49ers' future is kind of clear cut that they got to pick somebody. And they would probably be the favorite to get Deshaun Watson if Cleveland somehow beats Dallas, because they'll get some momentum and probably win the other game. I think Cleveland will probably get at least one win this year. I'm going to take New Orleans just because they're the better team. Anything over 3 or 4, I don't know about. I think San Francisco will at least show up. New Orleans kind of got lucky to beat the Hawks last week. I obviously say that, but the over-under is 52, so look for this to be a shootout for sure. If it's that high, they got to think that New Orleans is going to score a lot of points. So I'm going to say New Orleans scores more than San Fran, 31-27. Carolina at LA. This might not be the funnest game to watch unless you like defense. That is, if the Panthers defense played like they did last week and not early in the season. I thought that the Panthers would be a 2-point favorite, maybe going towards 3, and it's right at 3 right now. It'll be interesting to see which way this line goes. And the point total is 45, so this will probably be a back and forth game. Both teams have way better defenses than offenses. I'm gonna take Carolina, but not by much. Uh, neither team's got big time playmakers, but Cam's obviously the best player on offense on both teams, so I'm gonna take Carolina. Indy at Green Bay. This is definitely gonna be a high scoring game. It's it's around 54 total points, which is the highest I've seen this early in the week, or one of the highest. Green Bay, look, Aaron Rodgers, after all that talk about him on the decline, had one of his best games I've ever seen him play last week. He was pretty vintage last week against Atlanta, who's not a great defense. And this week they're at home against the Colts defense, which is probably definitely worse than Atlanta's and one of the worst in the league. So they're 7-point favorites. I thought they'd be 6-point favorites. I think they'll win by 7 or more. The Colts will definitely score points against Green Bay. They're probably going to be, I would think they'd be down most of the game. Unless Green Bay comes out conservative. Green Bay does have a ton of injuries, so I wouldn't be surprised if the Colts not only cover but win just because the Green Bay is so banged up. But if Green Bay is halfway healthy, I think they'll score at least 30 points and cover after the way they looked last week. Tennessee at San Diego. I think San Diego's 5.5. I thought they'd be a little bit less than that. I thought they'd be a 4-point favorite. Tennessee's look pretty sharp. Tennessee's definitely going to try and run the ball. This should be a back and forth game. Be interesting to see if Mariota makes plays against the San Diego defense. Both teams are pretty good on defense. San Diego's a little bit better. I'm going to take San Diego to win by 6 or so. If Tennessee can run the ball and keep this game, just stay in the game the whole game, they'll definitely have a shot to win. But I think San Diego will make a couple plays in the first half and make some plays in the second half and win and cover. Denver and Oakland in a fantastic Sunday night matchup. I picked Oakland to win the division this year. I thought they'd improved last year, and I'm going to stay on their bandwagon. I thought they'd be a 3-point favorite in this game's coin flip. Pick them. But one or the other team will probably go back to being a 1-point favorite. Denver is one of the best defenses. They're a bad matchup for basically every offense. Oakland's got 2 of the best receivers in the league, but Denver's got 2 of the best corners. But I'm going to pick Oakland just to be a homer because I picked them to win the division. But it'll be interesting to see how they make plays. The over-under is only 44, so I think this will be a tight game. Hopefully Oakland takes care of the ball because Denver's even more inexperienced at quarterback than Carr, who looks tremendous. So I'm going to take Oakland in a real exciting 2019 game, some kind of weird game. Buffalo at Seattle. I was hoping Seattle would be a 7 or even 7.5, but it looks like they're 7 and maybe 6.5. Seattle's really struggled on offense. I'm going to pick them to win by at least 7. Buffalo, I don't see how Buffalo is going to do anything against the Seahawks defense. Seattle has given up bad touchdowns to offenses like them in the past, so if they do that, this could end up being a tight, interesting Monday night matchup. But I'm gonna hope Seattle runs the ball. They got to run the ball. I said last week if they don't run it, and sure enough, they didn't run enough against the Saints and lost. Hopefully they'll get back to that. Pete even talked about it in the press conference, so hopefully they'll get going. All right. I'll take you to care now.